I'm going to do this because I like doing this. In case I need it. Thanks, Mark. Okay, welcome back. We're going to do
blooper time.
Blooper time. Will, what might happen if somebody were to listen to bloopers?
They could potentially learn from our mistakes.
Will they?
No.
Exactly. And do we?
No.
No. But we try.
No. Yes.
I guess in a traditional sense, I will go first. Oh, Will, you are not going to believe this blooper. You're just not going to believe it.
Blow me away.
I don't want to say whose it was, but I was editing a pod recently. And you remember one of our guests wasn't really buying everything about the assessment. And we had a little struggle. Well, when I was doing the editing, I said, well, that looks strange. And I went back and looked at their profile. So, little background. I have these books set. The show books are set up with all the different traits, but there's generic. Mm-hmm. And I'm supposed to take out the generic graph and put in their graph. I didn't. And so we spent that show sort of convincing her why the graph was right. Now, it was the same category, but it wasn't that person's graph. And that just dawned on me as I was doing the editing, and I felt like quite the low D boob. Not that this is a competition, but can you beat that?
I can't.
Okay. Yeah, I win.
But yay! But I'll go with a common theme. So we talk often about my high level of assertiveness, and I can, in moments of stress or other things, I can get hyper focused and not listen. Not pay attention. And I was having a conversation. It was a business-related conversation with my wife. Everyone knows that Amy and I run a company together, and she owns it. And anyway, I was very focused on something other than what she was saying. And I kept listening, but I walked out of the room to go do something else that I was thinking about and came back. And she was like, "Why do you do that?" She's like, I was like, well, I was still listening. She said, but you're not paying attention to me. You're not looking at me. You leave the room, you come back, you try to sell me on the fact that you're still focused, but your body language just tells me that you don't give up. So, so that's my blooper.
Stop that.
I do need to. That's rude.
I'm going to be your marriage counselor for 30 seconds.
I'm going to check in with her from time to time.
That's just what I need.
Has he gotten any better?
Yeah. Thank you.
See how it goes.
He's not learning from his mistakes.
Absolutely not.
What do you got, Tim? Wrap us up. Bring us home.
It's like, this just seems so obvious, but something I do every time that it should be easy for me to improve. But as the extrovert, like I want to be at all the events. I'm at the startup events. I'm going out and grabbing a drink. I'm meeting with our CEOs and other investors, and I love doing it. But I also like to avoid conflict and maybe procrastinate on that conflict, which means just putting it on my calendar to tell my wife, hey, listen, by the way, I have my fourth social work event of the week. And she's like, oh, that's great, because I don't see any one of them on the calendar. And so whether it's a morning coffee or an evening beer or whatever it is, when it comes to being at home with a 7 and 3-year-old, sometimes you got to organize a little bit better. And I often avoid that conflict.
Yeah, let me give you the same advice I gave to Will. Stop that.
Yeah.
That is a wrap, people. Thanks, everyone. Have a good week.
Good bloopers. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Thanks, Influence.
Yeah.